lovely to see y'all. Welcome on in. Let's switch to art camera, shall we? Hi. This is art. There's a stack of papers here because I have so many half-finished paintings right now, for reasons I'll get into in just a minute. But this is the one I want to work on today. And first of all, I want to say hi to the folks in chat. Turnip, hi, welcome in, and thank you for the lurk. Silly little guy, thank you for the lurk as well. I hope you enjoyed doing stuff. Samantha says, I can't believe they still haven't outlawed Mondays yet. I know, right? I know. It's just, what the heck? Do we need them? Mondays. Who needs them? I know I don't. That being said, if Mondays didn't exist, when would I art stream? Just Thursdays? I don't like that either. This right here is one of the highlights of my week. If nothing else, sometimes it's the only time I actually have to paint in a given week, so it's very special to me. But apart from Mondays, anyways. Sledge, my darling, what is that emote? What is that? I cannot tell what that is, but hello. It's lovely to see you, my moderator / spouse, and very good boy. Hello. Samantha says, you could swap to Tuesday Artstrum. I mean, that's true, but that also kind of compresses my week in a way that might make it harder to generate the spoons to do as much as I do on streams. Because I do need days off, or I run out of interesting things to talk about. So, I'm not sure how that would work. But, I mean, we could make it work. We could try to make it work. Anyways. So this is what we're working on today. I have like I have a literal stack here because I'm having to front load some of my Hollow Knight Art Month works. I want to try and finish as many of the prompt days as possible, but I'm going to be away for like basically the back half of the month. And so to that end, what I'm trying to do is just paint the back half of the month and the front and the back half of April instead and just post them then. I don't know if that's cheating. Don't tell Kirsty. But it's the only way that I'm going to be able to get it done because I'm going to be in another country and I'm not going to have access to my usual set of like supplies and workspace and all that jazz. But if you want to see a little preview, this is what I'm working on right now. But I don't want to give away too much. There's one that I've finished, and I've got a whole bunch that I haven't finished because I'm trying to basically batch paint like 5 things at once. So I'm doing the various like layers of each artwork all at the same time, kind of. So getting basically, sort of getting the backgrounds in on all of them. So like that's, like that. This one's done, so I'm not going to show you that like that. Like that kind of thing. And so I've got a couple of sketches that I haven't drawn anything in yet as well. But you can't see them yet because it's surprises. But I do just want to highlight for just a second how much fun it was to draw these guys. They're my favorites. This may become my favorite artwork I've ever done. They're so stupid. I love them. Anyways, they're called Mistake, a Mistake, and a Folly, respectively in game, if you're not familiar with Hollow Knight. And I honestly think that they should be called, like, Correct Decisions and Very Good Creature, because they are so good and I love them so much. They're my favorites. And also I just think it's mean to call anyone a mistake or a folly, it's just like, listen. Now I know the lore says that like, oh, they're they did bad things and experienced a consequence, but still they're stinking cute. Theo, hi. Theo says, "Oh my stars, Hollow Knight art in a magical cabin." This cabin is super magical because okay, I was worried after last stream. I painted in this, like, the hill in the background. I had painted in the grass in the front here, and I had put little, like, flowers and stuff in it, and then I realized after I added an extra sort of wash to the hill in the background that the grass was, like, way too light in value to not kind of look jank next to it. So I decided to put a second wash over the grass in the foreground as well, but I was worried that like the flowers were going to disappear, but actually the this feels good, actually. I love this super granulation paint. It is very, very, very fun to work with. Hello, Sen. Welcome in. How are you doing? Lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome. How is everyone on this very Monday? It is wonderful to see you all, and it is wonderful to be here. And honestly, it's pretty wonderful to be. Anyways, allow me, if I may, to set out my paints, my little painty-doos. These paints are on sale on Jackson's right now, and I am honestly tempted to get a couple of the 5ml tubes to fill these empty pans that I have, because I think that would be very fun. But should I? Probably not. No. I still really... Oh, and I'm still super annoyed at this paint maker. Daniel Smith Paints is a brand of paints that you can buy, and they do these duochrome paints, which are pretty much as it sounds, depending on sort of like how you're looking at it. It shifts from one color to, whereas this one, the color just shifts sort of organically on the page. The duochrome, it shifts based on like what's the color in the back, like what color paper you're using, white or black paper, or what angle are you viewing it at. Like, you get these crazy color shifts, and it looks so stinking cool, and they only come in 15ml tubes, and that's expensive. I want the little baby tubes, or the little half pans, so I can pay like £5 or £6 for one, because that's my budget for art supplies. I just had an annual subscription fee for something that I pay an annual subscription fee for, and almost immediately forget about go out today, and I'm like, no, I hadn't budgeted for this, you ding dongs. Well, this is gonna be an expensive month. Oh no. Ugh. Anyways, it's fine. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Everything's okay. But that was a little bit of a sort of well, I have many baked beans in the house if I have to. I can make miracles with baked beans. It's all good. Anyways. How is everybody doing? It is very nice to see you. I'm gonna unwrap my paints then. Oh shoot, I closed this is the box that I store these paints in, very scientifically, very safely. I should just get one of those empty pallets that you can just pop the paint pans into, but of course I don't have one. Because why would I have one? That would be someone who prepares and likes to spend money on boring things. Anyways, Theo says, if you made a baked beans miracles recipe book, I would buy it so hard. I honestly don't think I have enough baked beans recipes to justify that. It's mostly just, add seasonings. Ta-da! You can use baked beans as a shortcut to cabbage and bean soup. It just means you don't have to add regular beans and tomato puree. I have done this before, and I'll be perfectly honest, you would not, if you'd put it side by side with an entirely from scratch cabbage and bean soup, I don't think you would have been able to tell the difference. Which kind of feels... I don't know if that feels good or feels bad, but it definitely feels. I don't actually know which one it is. But but thank you. I've done two. I at some point would like to get around to doing a third cookbook. I've done 2 cookbooks, but thank you for the vote of confidence, Theo. I appreciate it. I really do. Anyways, right. Okay, I have unwrapped my paints. We have, in order from right to left, for some reason, despite being an Anglophone and reading things in English, like sideways, these order in my brain from right to left. I cannot explain it, but here we are. We have Desert Yellow, Tundra Orange, Galaxy Pink, Deep Sea Violet, and Shire Blue, which everyone agrees is teal. and that the good people at Schminka are talking shenanigans. So, anyways, I'm gonna turn around Bulbasoup so you can kind of see.
Attention.
Twitch user Sammy
What is
Kelch.
happening?
Shoppers.
Daniel! Hello! Hello! Welcome in, Raiders! Hi, Daniel, how was your stream? It's lovely to see you. Welcome on in. Hello, Cup of Joe. Hello, Comedian Viet. Hello, Daniel. How was your stream? Lovely to see you. Welcome on in. What did you get up to today? I would love to hear all about it. Thank you for the chill raid. Much appreciated. Let me get a shout out for you in the chat. Hopefully that works. Hopefully that worked. Anyways, if you're not following Daniel, go do that. Daniel, if there's anything you would like to share with us, whether it's something you were working on or your Instagram or whatever, you can whisper me a link and I would love to share it with the class. In the meantime, allow me to introduce myself. Hello, my name is Twitch user Sammy Kelch. I'm a variety streamer. I stream cozy art streams on Mondays and Thursdays. I stream cozy game streams on Fridays. And we're currently on a very silly run of Hollow Knight and having a very good time of it. Ahead of Hollow Knight Art Month next month, which I'm very much excited to get into. But in the meantime, Daniel, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you. Daniel's stream was chill, worked on some concept sketches for a commission, and then drew a Samus for fun. Ooh, very nice. Very, very nice indeed. Love to hear it. Glad to hear it was a good time as well. For anyone who's curious as to what my art looks like when it's been fully painted, here's one that took a cumulative the entire month of stream, because I have no chill and I must paint. This was just a little bookshop, as you do in some watercolors as well. It was nice to get to do it for sure. But my goodness, it took forever. Anyways, lovely to see y'all. And it sounds like you had a nice stream. And as I say, if there's anything that you want to share, Daniel, feel free to send me a link, and I would love to share it. In the meantime, this is what we're working on today. And it is... Whew, it's a little bit more chill than the last one, as you can see by the comparative lack of detail, but it's still taken a little bit of time to get did. Comedian Viet, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Welcome in. Hello. Cup of Joe's huge effect on that watercolor life. It is my favorite thing. I love working in... Primarily, I work in watercolors and other similar wet media. I've played with oil paints from time to time, and I do really enjoy doing a lino cut print as well, but I don't do that very often these days. Though we may be doing one later this week, if I get this finished today. Because I've been itching to carve some print block. Safely carve some print block on stream. Obviously you want to, when you're juggling the various aspects of being on stream, doing artworks live on the internet, what you really want to do is introduce an element of danger into the whole mix, am I right? Anyways. Joe says, I want to try watercolors again, but traditional stresses me out. Oh no, you just honestly, just start fluffing around and finding out. It's so much fun. Maybe try if you want to sort of ease your way in, do some low stress sketches where you're not super invested in how it looks when it's done, kind of thing. So if it's just like a stupid little scribble or whatever, just to kind of get a feel for it, you're not going to feel quite as precious about oh no, what if I make a mistake kind of thing. But also, if you do make a mistake, there are ways to fix it. There's always ways to fix it. I will tell you, before I did the final wash on this hill section behind this cottage, I was really unhappy with the way it looked. So I fixed it, and now I think it looks nice. There you go. Anyways, let me catch up with chat. But yeah, I recommend doing it. It just, I don't know, it's satisfying in a way that nothing else is for me. But maybe that's just me. Comedian Viet says, sorry we ruined your 869 nice follower count. That's okay, I forgive you, and thank you very much indeed again. Tee hee. Evil says, do you not do lino print much because you cut yourself more than the lino? To be honest, I have not done myself an injury doing a lino print in, somewhere between 15 and 20 years. But I also stopped doing lino printing for about 15 years. Because I did myself a very big injury. So now I'm very, very careful. And just carve away from your fingertips is is the trick. Anyways, hi Meeple, welcome on in. How's it going? Lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome. Joe says, just gotta add a little bit of danger for the spice. It just keeps things interesting, you know. Do you sketch first or do you just toss down paints and all? I always start with a sketch. Because I'm too indecisive to not have a sketch. Once I've committed to the sketch, I feel comfortable enough with it that I feel like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good, I think, to get going on the paint. And 9 times out of 10, I'm happy with what I end up with. I have done a couple of occasional pieces where I'm like, well, this composition actually sucked when you put color on it. But never mind. But I find it helps to have a sketch first. Otherwise, I can't do like the Bob Ross of I'm just gonna throw a little mountain over here approach. I would get no. I'm too indecisive and I will just be paralyzed. But yeah, maybe that's just me. Oh, I think I've got a message from Daniel. And there isn't. Did you mean to send a link to the artworks? Because if you did, I did not get it. But yeah, if you do, that's fine. If you don't, that's also fine. But anyways, Daniel says, I've been having fun with oh gouache, nice, but I definitely don't feel like I know what I'm doing with it. That doesn't matter. You don't have to know what you're doing. I never know what I'm doing. I just do it anyways. Absolutely. Let me get you another shout out in the chat. Because I can. There we go. Hopefully that works. Yay! We did it. Anyways, I just realized that my water cup is empty, so I'm gonna go quickly fill my water cup. Okay. I sent the link, but maybe it didn't show. I'll send it again. Thank you. There it is. Yay! Okay, I got it that time. Thank you. Okay, we'll do that in just a second. I'll be your bee. Whoops. Okay. Alright, friends, sorry about that. I'm back. We're back in the room. Hello. Hello, and let us say hello. If I can finagle my link/display configuration. It'll take me just a second, because I'm a silly ding-dong. I'm not very good at it. Okay, hopefully this works. So, this... Why is my... It says my stream is offline. Is my stream offline, or is my computer just having a moment? Comedian Viet is doing a lurk to take the puppy out and get some lunch. Oh, have a fantastic lunch. Have a fantastic puppy time. And thank you so much. Again, I am here. Looks online to me. Okay. Twitch is doing something bizarre. Let me just refresh the page. Oh, no. Sorry, I think Twitch was having a moment. So hopefully we're back. Okay, we seem to be back up and running. Fantastic. That was very weird. Sorry about that. Let's try this again. Anyways, here we are. This is Daniel's Instagram. Pop a link in the chat if I can. No, it won't copy paste. Hold on. Get a link in the chat as well. And now let's go look at some artworks. Yay. I'm so sorry about that moment where I was like, oh, my live. It said I was offline. So, you know, very confusing, but ooh, got some cool sci-fi vibes. And also, Daniel says here, I want to draw more food. I think the taco is my favorite part of this to draw. My eye was immediately drawn to the taco. If there's food, I'm like, ooh, food. But, oh, this buddy taking a nap, having a lovely time all plugged in. Feeling real comfy, recharging their batteries. This is how I feel when I'm recharging my batteries. Except I tend not to eat in bed because I know I'll get crumbs. But that's lovely. Hello. Get a load of this absolute friend. Hello. Oh, can I just say I love the detail of the like the nail varnish on the toenails. I don't know why, but just sometimes I'm just like, that's a good detail. That is such a good detail. It pulls it together, I think, as well. But what an absolute friend. Oh my goodness. So strong. So strong. Can you imagine? I just want to, I know this is personal, but I just want to give him a hug. Because they look like they would do it, they would do good huggins with big arms like that. That is so nice. Oh, hello? Who's this? Who is this absolute snail? This is so cute. A snail friend. I love it. Tacos in bed is the best worst idea, says Daniel. I mean, it sounds sublime, but it also sounds like a terrible idea. Get hello to this absolute friend. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. They're so cute. I love this. Lovely little snail friend. Hello. Very sweet. Very sweet. Be sure to slow down and take a deep breath and hang out with a cool snail. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely. Thank you very much for sharing these with us, Danielle. I really appreciate it. And thank you again for the raid. Anyways, we've now got water so I can actually paint. Yay! I might actually get this done today. Who knows? I mean, don't let's put any money on that because, you know, I mean, it's still me, but still, I'm gonna try. Anyways. But yes, thank you very much for sharing with us. I really appreciate it. I love getting to see what other people are working on as well. It fills me with joy. And it's so inspiring. Okay. All right. Now I just have to decide what I'm going to paint first. No pressure. Oh no. And when I say no pressure, what I mean is maximum pressure. Okay. So today is line work day. And for that we're going to need this teeny tiny little baby boy. This absolutely minuscule little creature. The smallest brush I own. To be perfectly honest, I kind of wish that I owned an even smaller brush. But once you get into real small brushes, it gets harder to find them, I find. I don't know. I seem to always, whenever I'm looking for... And also buying brushes online. It seems like brush size numbers are not universal. Because I remember buying this thinking that it was going to be this size. How many times have I used this brush? I can count on one hand. Because, yeah. Anyways. Samantha says, just keep getting smaller and smaller brushes until you have one that will paint individual atoms. That's what I'm working towards, to be perfectly honest. I would love to be able to paint an entire landscape on a teeny tiny grain of rice. That would be fine by me. I did see some folks on YouTube did a video where they painted a Bob Ross landscape onto like a keycap for a keyboard. And I'm like, that is a scale I aspire to. Could I do it? I don't know. But I mean, I used to just draw like regular sized people that took up, you know, sort of like most of the height of the canvas, and then I started drawing these teeny tiny little guys. Just look at him, his little dungarees, his little basket of strawberries. He's so tiddy. And then this little buddy over here with their tiny cup of tea.
Attention.
Twitch user Sammy Kelch.
Choppers.
Hi, Sammy Ann. Welcome in. Hello, Raiders. Hi, everybody. Welcome. How was your stream, Sammy Ann? It's lovely to see you. Let me get a shout out for you in the chat. Theo says, I love them so very much. Thank you. That's really kind. Thank you. Let me get a shout out for Sammy Ann in the chat. Sammy Ann, how was your stream? It is very nice to see you indeed. Hello. For anyone who's just joining us or who's new here, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Twitch user Sammy Kelch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy game streams on Fridays. That's not how my speech goes, but screw it. I do cozy game streams on Fridays. We're playing Hollow Knight right now. I do cozy art streams on Mondays and Thursdays, and that's what I'm doing today. Here is the little guys that we're painting. I forget what else I do. I have a YouTube channel where I make YouTube videos. I'm working on editing my latest video at the moment. Hopefully it'll be up fairly soon. Hopefully it'll be up before I go away on holiday. That would be nice, but we'll see. Anyways. Meeple says, good to make an art stream. Again, been busy Mondays recently, and it is so nice to see you as well, Meeple. I really love seeing you. That's nice. I don't know where that sentence went. I'm sorry. I probably had a little too much caffeine, but never mind. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, hi. For anyone who's just come in, welcome. Hello, it me. As always, Sammy Ann, if you have anything that you've been working on that you want to share, or if you want me to go do a creep on your Instagram, I would love to do that as well. For anyone who's not familiar with my oeuvre, such as it is, allow me to show you a representative but completed piece. I'm going to share these guys because I just love these gnome husbands and I never get tired of painting them, and also they're in love. So there you go. That's something I painted. The gnome husbands. Husbands spelled obviously with a silent G. Anyways, Sammy Ann says, still working through sickness 10 days in. Oh my goodness gracious, Sammy Ann, I'm so sorry and I very much hope you feel better soon. Hold on, here. Have some herbal tea. Just for you. Have a big sip. Delicious. Hopefully that helps. Kindred, hello! Hi, are these folks related to hobbits? I don't know. I haven't checked whether or not they've got hairy feet, but they are quite tittle and sweet. I've often felt a kinship with hobbits myself personally because I am very short, and I've got not particularly hairy feet, but I mean they're not hairless either. Anyways. Anyways, how's it going, Kendra? Lovely to see you. Sammy Ann says, this is very pretty. I love the details coming through. Oh, thank you, Sammy Ann. Much appreciated. I am trying my best. And I hope it's going okay. Daniel says they are so sweet. Oh, thank you. Thank you. The ink on the gnome husbands is lovely, says Sammy Ann. Ah, jeez. Tea is much better tasting now, so it is good, says Sammy Ann. Oh, yay. I'm so glad. Because I know you are a tea person just like me. And when the tea is not tasty, that is that is the worstest. Samantha says, I choose to place the silent G in husbands such that it is felt hugsbands. This is canon now, thank you. Hello, Lina, welcome on in. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Welcome on in. Hello. We are going to have a look at Sammy Ann's Instagram. Because I can. And because Sammy Ann just rated. So let me just pull that up real quick. I have not been on Instagram in a couple of days, which is entirely because I am a tired bear and I keep remembering to post to Instagram at, like 11 p.m. and I'm like, I don't have 2 hours to get through my Instagram feed, so I'm gonna have to do it the next day. And 5 days have gone by and I haven't been on Instagram. Oh no! So hopefully I'll post something on Instagram tonight. Did I say hello, Lino? Oi Savaloys to you too, if I haven't. And an additional oi Savaloys if I already did. Anyways, I just realized I need to do a little something behind the scenes that I should have done before stream started, but I don't know whether or not I did. So I'm just going to check and make sure that it is set as it should be. That's better. Okay, wizard. Now, moving on. Let's take a look at Sammy Ann's Instagram. And these lovely fairy creatures who I love so much. This is so whimsical and so magical and so lovely, and I very much hope that this person is going to be okay. I hope that this results in a lovely sort of floaty situation and not a like an ankle breakage. Anyways. Kindred in the chat says, my favorite game, Blood Bowl, just released a gnome team. Hello? I am not super familiar with Blood Bowl, but as a person who has a Warhammer partner, I am, like, peripherally aware of it, and I do like the sound of a gnome team. Teehee. Sammy Ann says, you haven't missed much on mine, Sammy. I've been negligent on that front too. Oh, geez, that is a mood. But let's take a look at the things that are there, because they are very good. This is very, very sweet. This is so fairy tale. I mean, it's fairies. It's literally fairies, but it's very fairy tale. I love it very much. And then, obviously, the lovely little springtime dragony buddy and their little bee friend and their little flower friend, and it's so sweet. I love the whimsy in your artworks. It just makes me very, very happy to see. And also I just love bees. I love bees so much. They're very small. Oh, hello. This friend is absolutely precious. And they've got their little eggies as well. Very, very sweet. And I absolutely love that this was painted with tea, our favorite medium. So cute. I just want to... Okay, I'm literally... You can't see, but I just went to my computer's monitor and I gave a boop on the snoot on the monitor. So with my fingy, I just went boop because that was a creature that felt like it needed a boop. Very sweet. Thank you again, Sammy. And let me get another shout out for you in the chat. And there we are. Anywho. Sammy says, oh, they would love that very much. I am so glad because I love them very much. They're very, very sweet. Anyways, I'm going to take a sip of my tea now because I've been talking quite a bit. And wait, is someone who's being a sausage? I'm confused. I don't know. Okay. Food combinations, friends. This is something that I've discussed with my moderator / spouse recently because we were talking about breakfast foods and how back in the old country they have breakfast sausages, which are like they're like little tittle sausages that you have next to like your pancakes or whatever. And they used to do these veggie breakfast sausages that I would just have like 6 veggie breakfast sausages for my lunch with maple syrup to dip. And the closest I've been able to find in this country, they're not tittle sausages, they're regular sized sausages, so I just have like 2. Are the Cauldron Lincolnshire sausages have a semi-similar spice structure, I feel like. And so I will like cook myself those for lunch and then have some maple syrup to dip. And apparently this is weird. But it's not, because they taste like breakfast sausage to me. So, you mean cocktail sausages, says Meeple? No, cocktail sausages is a whole other kettle of fish. Cocktail sausages are like little... They're like little baby hot dog weenies, aren't they? Like cocktail sausages in size, says Sammy Ann, but meant for breakfast snack. Yes, exactly. They're like you have them like next to your eggs or your pancakes or whatever. But here they just have like regular sized like banger. But these ones are like tiddle, and they're delightful. Anyways. Lino says, how wild is it to think of having dedicated sausages for cocktails? Listen, sometimes, you need a meatier garnish depending on what spirits you've used in your beverage. Anyways, not weird, says Meeple. Sausage and honey mustard is a common combo. And that's close enough to maple syrup, I guess. I mean, there's honey in it, so, yeah, good. I mean, I likewise will, if I have like veggie nuggies at home, we have like veggie dino nuggies or something and we're just having them just as like kids, if we're having just like a kids menu dinner of like veggie dino nuggies and, some steamed vegetables, maybe like mashed potatoes and peas or something like that, I will have a little potto of homemade hot honey for dipping. When I was an actual kids menu child, I would just get the honey dip from Mackie D's with my McNuggies. But now that I'm a vegetarian adult, I will make my own like hot honey by just taking a squeeze of honey and then whatever hot like spicy sauce I have in the house to taste. Right now it's the chili garlic Cholula. I wish it was the green Cholula, but I can't find it anywhere. I don't know if they still make it. The green Cholula slaps. Anyways. Sammy Ann says, in the old country, that makes me laugh every time. Hell yeah. Maple syrup is a very valid dipping option, says Sammy Ann. Yes, thank you. Thank you, thank you. It is not the cheapest in this country, unless I am able to make a trip to like an Aldi, which are very much on the outskirts of town and not always easy for me to get to here. But when I do get to Aldi, I always buy like 3 bottles of maple syrup because it is half the price of the other supermarkets. Samantha says maple syrup is for drinking from a flask while lumberjacking. How did you know what I was planning to do when I went back to Canada next month? How did you infiltrate my brain and learn my plans? I'll be wearing one of my checked flannel shirts, of course, with the sleeves ripped off because it's summertime. I will be just like mainlining shooters of maple syrup and just rolling logs down the river as you do. Sammy says, I used to enjoy a bowl of maple syrup for dessert sometimes. I have just outed where the old country was and where I am with that statement, I think. Maybe just a tittle biddle. I did, sometimes the girl gender neutral dinner, of my old country experience. Sometimes it's just like, man, I just want something sweet, but this is an ingredient household and we don't have like snacks. There's no biscuits. I'm just gonna literally like shooter a tablespoon of maple syrup because I just need a sweet. So I have been known to just shooter like a tablespoon of maple syrup because I just needed a sweet, Woo! Maple says, I often have maple syrup on ice cream as a topping. Nice. I mean, it also works as a top-up. Top up your ice cream with added deliciousness. Or is that a top-up or is it an add-on? I don't know. I'm thinking too hard about the terminology of my phone plan, and I'm not opening my like phone company app right now to figure out which one it is. Anyways. Samantha says, I've been learning more about Canadian culture since my younger days of all knowledge coming from the American show Due South. I'm not sure that's the best place to know everything about Canadian culture, to be perfectly honest. But, I mean, as a starting point, it's not bad. Sammy Ann does clarify Due South was a Canadian show that got picked up by an American network, so it could continue. And we love to laugh at ourselves. Oh, we sure do. But if anyone else does it without our permission, we will cry. Or is that just me? That might just be me. Because, like, for instance, I'm allowed to self-deprecate, but if anyone else is like, oh, I'm in on the joke, I'm gonna viciously mock you, I will cry. So, anyways, Meeple says, you don't have Ship's biscuits regularly on hand in your house? I do have biscuits regularly on hand in my house now. We have a tin full of ginger nuts. And also I caved and had a craving for Oreos. So we've got Oreos as well. I've also got this massive, like, mahoosive, like, sized for, like, 10 families tin of gingerbread biscuits from Sweden that I bought because the tin design is gorgeous, but it turns out that my husband doesn't like one of the spices in the gingerbread biscuits. So I sadly have to eat all of them, but it's so many biscuits. It's so many biscuits. I don't know what to do with all of these biscuits. It's so many biscuits. Anyways, Theo says, I used to do that. I used to mix a tablespoon of the stuff into a glass of kefir. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Meeple says, is that a Canadian thing? Because I am self-deprecating, but can't take it from others much. I don't know. Maybe that's just like a personality thing, actually. I don't know. Samantha says, it's all fun and games until someone viciously mocks the 1 HP commoner to death. Oh no. Oh no. I've only used Vicious Mockery once as a spell in Dungeons & Dragons, incidentally. And the one time that I did, we were fighting a giant dinosaur, and my Vicious Mockery was to say that while the original Tale of Jurassic Park was one of my very favorite books of all time, I felt that the sequels yielded diminishing returns. I seem to remember it landed pretty well. So, anyways. Savage, says Sammy Ann. I know, Theo says, oh dear, I know. I mean, listen, in fairness, I'm right. Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna make a color is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make myself a color. I'm gonna pick up some of this desert yellow. I love desert yellow. It is so stinking pretty. Oh, I didn't put up my like palette piece that just shows you what these colors actually look like when they've been painted out. So hold up. Let me find that in my pile of drafts here. My massive pile of drafts. So here's a preview. Forget it. I want you to forget that you saw this a month from now. It's the seer. I don't really like what I've done with the dream tree, so I'm gonna keep working on it. But she is drinking a cup of tea, so there's that. But here we are. Here's our colors, and here's sort of like just a stupid little sampler I doodled to see what the colors look like on a slightly larger scale in and of themselves. These paints are really, really fun. They're basically a combination of 2 or more granulating pigments from Schmincke's watercolor line. And the combination thereof gives you really, really nice sort of like color shifts on washes and stuff, which you can kind of see in some of these. Some of these areas more than others. I feel like the pink doesn't have a lot of color change as much as like the green and blues do, which are pretty wild. Like this is all one paint, and there's like that's like yellowish green, and that's teal. One paint. So fun stuff. Anyways. Anywho, Samantha says it was one of my favorites as a youth. That's due south. Benton Fraser, the only good man. I mean, I would argue there's at least 2, maybe 3 good men. In as much as I am married to a man. And I think that he's pretty nice. But yeah, I mean, Benton Fraser's pretty good too. Also cemented my love of huskies, who are very good doggos. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Sammy Ann says, I had the soundtrack for the purpose of the main theme and the Edmund Fitzgerald song. Sammy Ann, I want you to know. Okay, so you know I was just referencing the time that I fought a dinosaur in a D&D session? In that session, I was playing a Water Genasi halfling bard whose name was Lightfoot Fitzgerald. That's all. Just thought you might like to know. Sammy Ann says, Diefenbaker the Husky was adorable. And what a Canadian name, right? Tee. And being able to identify Canadian actors in various roles, says Sammy Ann. Oh man, there is something about like the acting pool of like working Canadian sort of guest and character actors who just show up in thing after thing after thing that I find so much fun. It's just like, oh, hey, it's that guy again. I don't know what his name is, but I know the many things I've seen him in. There was this one lady who, for years, was sort of a particular archetype of character actor lady who had... She had kind of a gruff voice. And so she tended to play characters that were a bit sort of like that. And my dad had a story about this one time in the 70s. I don't know why or how it happened, but he had a drink with her in a bar in the 70s. And every time she'd show up on TV, he'd just be like, oh yeah, that's Jane. And I'm like, this country is so small. What the hell? Anyways. Sammy answers and adds a slow clap because that's just perfect. Aw, thank you. Kendron says half of Hollywood is Canadian. Hell yeah. You know what? I briefly considered being part of that half once many years ago and then realized I had been to LA enough times to know that I could not live there. Because, honestly, it's hot as balls and there's no public transit. Or at least there wasn't at the time. Maybe it's better. I think the metro is a bit better now, but it sucked. Absolutely sucked. But also probably everyone else that I knew, pretty much, apart from, like, one guy, were people who weren't, like, from LA when I was in LA. So they'd all be like, oh, no, can't take the bus, it's too scary. And I'm like, what is wrong with you people? It's just public transit. Who cares? And I would just take the bus everywhere, and it was fine. Except for the fact that, you know, traffic was inevitably terrible and it took like 9 hours to get from from, you know, what should be like a 2-hour distance, but never mind. I wanted to put a little bit of like light definition onto these plants because I just felt like they felt a bit incomplete, I suppose. But I'm okay with this definition being a little bit vague, I guess. But just to give them a bit of it. Anyways, Sammy is doing a lurk for a bit to enjoy the art while having a bite to eat. Oh my goodness, absolutely. You gotta go do the post-stream stuff. You gotta go do the post-stream stuff. Please look after yourself. And thank you again for the raid. I really appreciate it. Samantha says, Canada is 50 times the size of the UK. Yeah, it's a big boy. It's a big boy. And also, Sammy, Canada is so small. It's both somehow. It's both somehow because there's not as many, there's nowhere near as many people as the UK. But it's also a massive big boy landmass, which makes for some weird situations, combinations, things. I was watching a YouTube video the other week from a YouTube channel by a lady named Beryl Shereshevsky, who cooks foods from, you know, all over the world, and she solicits like reader submissions or like viewer submissions for like what is a recipe from where you're from that is representative of how you use X ingredient, right? And I was watching it a couple weeks ago, and I can't remember what the episode was like, what ingredient the episode was about. But I'm just like doing some sewing or something, so I wasn't really looking at the TV, and I just hear, you know, hi, my name's Shelly, and I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I'm like, I used to have a friend named Shelly from Toronto, and then I look up and I'm like, oh my god, it's Shelly. There's millions of people in Toronto, and yet there she is, my friend from back when I lived in the old country. Anyways, it was a nice moment because then I hadn't spoken to Shelly in years, and then I shot her a message and we had a nice little chat, and it was really lovely because she was always really cool. Shelly's a cool person, and I'm happy to know her. Anyways, Samantha says, "Oh wow, did not realize that the UK has twice as many humans as Canada." Yeah, Canada doesn't have that many people, and yet, we produce so much freaking good music, and the occasional film. There was something I was talking about this on a social medium recently. Someone was asking me what are some of the things I miss the most about Canada, and one of the things that I brought up was literally like the sort of Canadian design sensibility and the ineffable but recognizable quality of Canadian filmmaking. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's a piece of Canadian design. How do I describe what makes it look like it's Canadian? I don't know, but I can tell when it is. Which is really unsatisfying as an answer. I recognize this, but yeah. London alone has slightly less people than the entire province of Ontario. Sammy Ann, it's crazy, isn't it? It is wild. London is large. I do love London. It is overwhelmingly large, though. But yeah, Kindred says Putin. Oh, my beloved. Putin, my beloved. Last time I was back in Canada, I brought home a sachet of poutine sauce from Saint-Hubert, which is like a I think mostly these days Quebec specific, correct me if I'm wrong, like chicken dinner restaurant chain, and it was so good. It was so good. Can't really make proper poutine here because we don't have you can't get cheese curds in the supermarket, so we had to like we have to kind of improvise with like other cheeses that kind of fit the bill, but don't really like. There's halloumi, but it's too salty. There's like, bocconcini, but they're too like wet. Um, and they don't squeak like the cheese curds do. Uh, oh, les grains of cheese. I miss them so much. Anyways, Samantha says, Shelley is a cool person. I'm happy to know the things both Sammy and Lord Byron would say. Oh man, there's a YouTube video about Lord Byron that I keep wanting to watch, but it's like 50 minutes long, and I keep remembering that it's there at like right before bedtime, and I'm like, I can't stay up for 50 minutes just to watch this video about Lord Byron. I need to go to beddy bye-byes because I'm middle-aged and I can't pull a late-nighter on a school night anymore. Not that I really should have done when I was, like student-aged, but still. Still, anyways. Seriously going to lurk for a bit, says Sammy Ann. Okay, have a lovely lurk. Hello, many distractions. Welcome on in. Thank you for the cheese. Lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing? How's your Monday? Kindred says, something Canadian equals plays an important role in whatever it is contributing to, but downplays said role. Almost to point of apologizing for being there in the first place. Oh my god, Kindred, you're so right. You're so right. That is the Canadian design sensibility. Oh my goodness. That's perfect and so true. Anyways, I haven't been in Canada in like a year and a half, so I don't really know what's going on there these days. I hope everything's okay. I get emails from like those organizations that are constantly putting forth petitions for you to sign, and so I will hear things about like stupid things that the Premier of Ontario wants to do, and it's like, oh, okay, they want to just pretend that climate change doesn't exist. Cool. Oh, they want us to just not have healthcare anymore. Love that for them. And I do have a home base in Canada still, in as much as I can just use my parents' address if I need to. So, I do that, but I think I've lived out of the country long enough that I'm technically not allowed to vote anymore. I think if I tried to vote, I could get in trouble. Because I have been living not in Canada for about 11 years, is it? Let's see, what is it? It's 2024. So that's going on 11 years as of a few weeks from now. And to that end, I think you can live outside the country for like about 5 years and still be allowed to vote. So I don't get to vote no more, and this does me a sad. Because I want to vote. I'm just popping some little grass that's kind of snuck its way into the fruit and vegetable patch around the edges there, and then I think I'm gonna swap out for a different color of paint. Because I think I'm done with greens for now. I think I maybe want to look at doing the house. I might start with like the roof and the like wood fixtures and stuff, and then look at doing the other things. I'm gonna mute for just 1 second though, if that's okay. I do apologize for the mute, but I'll be back in a second. I'm still here. I'm just quiet. Sorry about that. I've been a bit snuffy, so I wanted to see if maybe I could blow my nose. And I did. And now my ears... You ever get that thing where you blow your nose and then suddenly your ears stop working? Because my ears have stopped working. Oh no. Oh no. Come on. There we go. Okay, we're back. I can hear again. Hooray. Sorry about that. Anyways. Mondays, am I right? I would wax excitedly about what I'm having for dinner tonight, but I'm just making miso soup. And when I say I'm making miso soup, I mean I'm taking a packet and opening it and then putting hot water in it and then eating the soup. Oh, but that being said, I do have a very exciting accompaniment in as much as my moderator / spouse yesterday baked us a beautiful loaf of soda bread. It's so nice. I love my moderator slash spouse's soda bread. It's delicious. It's nutritious. It tastes real good. I think with this one he used quite a bit of spelt flour because we didn't have a lot of plain flour left in the house. And so it's quite, it's got a nice sort of rich, like, wholesomeness to it as well, which is really nice. It feels good for you, but it's still delicious, which is my favorite combination. Ah, good stuff. Anyways, I'm gonna try and make a kind of beigeish brownish hue. For that, I once again need to start with yellow. This desert yellow is getting a lot of love, even though there isn't really anything like properly yellow in the painting. Also, I washed my hair this morning, and every once in a while, I don't tend to do that much to, like, I don't futz around with, like, the positioning of my hair as it's drying normally. So I sometimes end up in a situation where, I have, like, a single strand of hair that just wants to fall directly in front of my face, which, you know, if I had a short fringe would be preferable, but unfortunately my hair is all quite long. It comes down to about sort of midway down my tummy if it's hanging in front, and sort of down to about the small of my back if it's hanging in back. And that's when it's like quite bouncy and curly as well. So my hair is long, which I love. It's nice, but every once in a while this one tendril, this tendril you can see here, this tendril will just decide to just fall directly in front of my face, and it's really annoying. Like, I am trying to look at the things, but I don't want to like put a hairband or something on to get it out of the way and then have the rest of my hair dry in a really sort of like unflattering, misshapen sort of way. So that is a struggle, and I don't like it. Also, and I don't know if this is silly, but you ever find yourself in a situation as a painter or as an artist where you're like, this painting looks good, so now I'm scared to keep working on it because what if I make it get all be bad, actually? What if it get bad now? Oh no. Okay, that's a little bit grayer than I want, I think, for this color. I've never done like line weight with this paint before, so I don't know how it's gonna turn out / look for that. Kindred says you might want to look up International Register of Electors on the Elections Canada website. Looks like you can vote in federal elections as long as you lived in Canada at some point. Really? Oh, maybe that's changed then, because I'm sure that I had read quite a bit to say that, like, if you have lived outside of the country for a while, that you can't. But if I can, then that's good. Because good. Because I still have, having family there, I still have, you know, I feel like I have a stake in things not getting all bad. You know, I might at some point end up in a situation where, like, the UK gets so bad that I have to leave and we have to move to Canada, which I don't super want to have to do, because it was really expensive moving here, and moving back seems like it would be, you know, pretty faffy. Okay, this paint is super wet, which, I know, it's watercolor. In other news, watercolor is wet, but I kind of wish I could pick up like a thicker amount of it to do these lines, because it'll just be like tidier if I can. It's not always super feasible with some paints. So they just want to be super transparent, and it's like, no, I want thick. I want thickness here. I need the thickness. I want a little bit more concentration. And it's very, very wet. So, okay. Well, I'll go with this and see how we get on. Anyways, with Sunak, no, Mrs. Kindred, everything will be fine. I have been for the last, like, I don't know, probably 8 years at this point, been just being like, things can't possibly get worse than they are right now. And it's like the country is just like, oh yeah, challenge accepted. So, yeah, I have no confidence in things remaining safe for me. And as such, I feel like I need to be prepared to super run away. Just grab my person and leave if we ever need to. What? This UK says Samantha with the worst Tory party ever and an opposition determined to copy all of their homework? Oh, don't even get me started. No, seriously don't, because I'll cry on stream and we don't want to see that. Anyways, now then. Okay, I have painted some stairs. The stairs are jank, but also they built them themselves. So, frankly, with that in mind, I think they're doing an amazing job at the fact that they're actually, like, walk downable. What are you having for dinner tonight? Asks Theo. Miso soup and soda bread. I'm very excited for it. In as much as I really appreciate things that are a little bit extra low effort on stream nights, because it means I don't feel super time pressured to, like, finish at a specific minute, because I know that it's going to take me, like, 45 minutes to do din-dins. And also I just wanted something fairly, like, light and nourishing tonight. And I feel like miso soup really hits that spot quite nicely. That being said, tomorrow night I am making Dino Nugget Katsudon, which I'm also very excited for, as it happens. As It Happens is the name of a long-running radio program on CBC Radio 1 that I was just thinking about on the weekend, and now have the theme tune to it stuck in my head. The theme tune, in case you're curious, is a piece of jazz music by jazz flautist Mo Kaufman called Curried Soul. That is a tangent. You can tell that it's been a very, very, very long time since I actually listened to CBC's As It Happens. I think it's ongoing still. But when I listened to it regularly, it happened to run over when I would eat dinner normally. So I would just stick on, like, the CBC radio and listen to CBC's As It Happens, hosted by Mary Lou Finley and Barbara Budd, and I can still remember they both had the same sort of jovial Canadian lady voice that I couldn't tell which one was which. It's just like, it's Mary Lou and or Barbara, I don't know. Good times. Anyways. And they also just had a theme tune that, you know, like, actual content of the program itself aside, which varied, you know, but, the theme tune was a banger. Anyways. Excuse me. And you know what? That's a priority for me personally. Is it a good theme tune? I love a good theme tune. I don't know about y'all, but a good theme tune brings me a lot of joy. I like to think if I ever get to have a program on TV or on the radio or something that I've written, the theme will be a bangin' tune. Kindred says, As It Happens has swapped host. Barbara Bud /Bud, yes. It is a good theme tune. It is an excellent theme tune. do, 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 do. That's as much as I'm gonna sing on stream because I don't want to wreck it for y'all, but it is a great theme tune. Maybe if I can remember, I'll pop a link to it in the Discord after stream. We have a Discord, by the way. All this stuff I feel like I should probably make like auto messages that just pop up every sort of 20 minutes or so in chat so that people know about them, but I don't remember to do that when I'm off stream, but we have a Discord, it's there. I also have stickers. And I worked really hard on them and I hope you like them. Anyways. Do I have any other good exclamation mark commands? I don't know. Mostly, I think the other exclamation mark commands are mostly for, did somebody break a rule and I need to remind them of it? And did I say a swear? Or did somebody else say a swear? It's fun to listen to CBC online when I was in Japan last year, says Kendrin. Ooh, fun stuff. Hell yeah. I had a period of time where I think back in Canada, I used to live with my family while I was being a student. And one of the things that happened to me while I was a student was that my parents went away for a couple of weeks and I had the whole house to myself. And the internet went down. So, and the internet we also didn't have like any kind of broadcast television available to us. We didn't have like cable, and I think at that point it was either very difficult or effectively impossible to pick anything up just through the airwaves. And the internet went down once and I was alone, and we weren't going to be able to get anyone to like fix the internet until after my folks got back. So my exclusive entertainment for like 2 weeks was just daytime CBC radio, and I did actually call in to a program at one point. Exciting stuff. I was just like, yeah, what the hell? I want to talk to the radio guy. So I called up the radio and I talked to the radio guy about, I think, something to do with like outdoor cooking in summer. And I just gave them some recipe hack suggestions for like basically how to accommodate your veggie guests if you're having a barbecue and not have them feel like patronized. So that was my claim to fame for a while. It was just, I talked to the man on, I think it was Cross Country Checkup on CBC Radio 1. Wow. Anyways. Unbelievable. I used to be one of those people who calls into the radio station to talk. Can you believe to learn to know? I would never do that now. I contemplated calling into the BBC radio once, but I didn't do it. I'm a shy plum. Also, I don't have anything interesting to say. Anyways. You're welcome for learning so many things about Canada, everybody. I'm happy to provide that. Okay. Some of this line work is going to be quite subtle. I hope that's all right. I mean, it gets the job done, I think. So, that's the most important thing. And already I feel like it has added something to it. I do kind of. I'm like mentally questioning whether or not I want to add any sort of like line weight to like the hills and grassy areas and stuff. And I feel like maybe, but like really softly, like not quite as defined as the house, because I want that to be where the most focus is. But we'll see. We shall see. Okay. I'm gonna do the rooftop. If I can. Very carefully. I really feel like it's such a nice, like, happy accident the way that the paper texture interacted with the paint granulation on the roof, because it kind of just created this texture that looks like it could just be the shape of the roof tiles. Like, apart from those ones that I obviously picked out, like, with line art, that's just the way that the paint texture sat on the paper, and it looks like it has the sort of texture like it could be roof tiles. And I'm so pleased with that. I was just like, that is the happiest accident. That is so good, you know? It's just very satisfying. Okay. There we go. The house has somewhat of a skeleton now, which is good. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea. Oh. That is gonna do that. Anyways. And I'm gonna sip my beverage. What y'all up to this week? Do you have any exciting plans? Are you doing anything cool? I would love to hear about it if you are. And if you ain't, and you're just chilling or vibing, or just having some days, that's pretty cool too. Anywho, I'm going to do a little cough, and I'm going to apologize for having done a little cough, and then I'm going to subtly transform this brown paint, I think, with a little... Okay, I want to get the tiniest amount of water on my brush, just the teensiest whisper of water on my brush, because I want to ever so slightly warm up this brown, but so slightly. That has done almost nothing, and I don't think I actually touched any water to my brush there. Let me try again. Okay, that definitely touched water. Yes, okay, it's wet now. Cool. Because I want to pick up a little bit of orange. I want to add that to the remnants of the... I'm working with such a teeny tiny amount of paint here. Oh my goodness. That is a teeny tiny amount of paint. But hopefully this will work, because what I wanted to do is just warm up the brown enough to use it for our little window box here, which is a little bit of a warmer shade of brown. Maybe they used a different wood, or maybe they put a bit of a stain onto it. I don't know. I don't know. That's delving into the world of home doing stuff that I don't really know a lot about. I am planning to hide and not do any crime, says Samantha, because it turns out I'm visible for a whole week this time instead of just the one day. Oh my goodness. I mean, congratulations on your visibility, but also, yes, maybe not the best time to do crimes. Best time to just... Am I allowed to perceive you? I feel like we're friends. Am I allowed to perceive you? Because I shall perceive you if I am. If I'm not allowed to perceive you, then I shan't. But do let me know, because your visibility, your choice. Anyways. But I hope you have a good... You may perceive me, says Samantha. Oh, thank you so much, my friend. I perceive you, and I send much love. Anyways, window boxes. How do we feel good about this? I feel pretty good about those window boxes. They feel good. Got some lovely little foliage. Ooh, I should probably put some line weight on that foliage, shouldn't I? I think that's it for brown stuff for the moment. So I will get some lines on that foliage. I need a bit of tissue. Do I have some tissue for the blotting of my paintbrush? I think I do. Anyways. This week is a busy bumblebee bee work week for me, just in as much as I've got so much painting to do off stream, which is what I get for not realizing that I was planning to partake of a 31-day art prompt challenge that takes place over a month that I'm spending half of out of the country. To which end I'm going to have to cancel some streams. I apologize in advance. I will be going into holiday mode for the back half of May, and I'll miss you all very much. But sadly, I do not think that my family home's Wi-Fi is up to the task of streaming. And also, I will be 5 hours behind where I am here. And that's just too complicated for me to try and brain out. I also don't know what my plans are going to be in terms of, like, other people wanting to spend time with me, maybe. I don't know. Me trying to distract myself out of having an existential crisis. All that jazz. But please look at these, because I just love them. Okay, shut up. Anyways. I think that's going to be a good painting. I hope it's going to be a good painting. Fingies crossed. But yeah, so my week is going to be busy because I am trying to finish I'm trying to speed run as many of these paintings as I can in a fairly short space of time, in the interest of getting them did to my standard, and also just having something to post for these days. Anyways. There we go. Happy little window box foliage. I don't know what plants these are, but they've got some little flowers in them and stuff. Very, very cute. I hope they're cute. I think this is coming along okay. I think we might actually finish this stream, but don't ever underestimate my ability to, like, continually futz with stuff. Am I done futzing? No, I'm never done futzing. There's always more to futz. Ah, that was a delicious cup of my coffee. Sip of my cup of coffee, rather. I can speak. I can't speak. Listen, words are very hard, okay? Words are very hard, and I'm not very... For someone who purports to be some manner of a writer, I'm not very good at them. To which end, I'm going to take, like, a 1 minute breather. So I hope you enjoy the BRB in the meantime. Here's the BRB song, and I'll be back in just a minute, and you're all breathtaking. Enjoy! thank you very much for the raid. I am so sorry that I was away from the stream for a moment when you raided. If you've already gone off to lurk, then thank you very much for the raid, and hello everyone who's come in on the raid as well. Hi, welcome on in. My name is Twitch user Sammy Kelch. I'm a variety streamer. I do art streams on Mondays and Thursdays. I do cozy game streams on Friday mornings. And we're currently just finishing up the line weight on this little house and having a very nice time. It's okay, Cecilia. I brought mostly lurkers, I think. Well, welcome in, lurkers. Hello, it's lovely to see y'all. For anyone who's not familiar with me, I'm a traditional artist. I work in mostly watercolors and other wet media. This is what we're working on today. And also, Silly, what did you get up to on stream? Feel free to let us know if there's anything that you would like to share. Feel free to whisper me a link. And indeed, thank you once again for the raid. Let me get a little shout out for you in the chat. And a very, very, very big thank you for the yay, it worked! There's always that little pause between me typing it in and the chatbot actually, like, doing its thing. And I always have a little moment of, like, is it gonna work? And then it did! Yay! So yeah, if you're not following Silly, everybody go do that! They are an excellent person and a lovely friend and a very, very cool individual. I was trying out my new OBS layout. Ooh, and drawing some V1 Ultra Kill. Hell yeah! Well, as I say, if there's anything that you would like to share, feel free to pop a link in my whispers, and I would love to share it with the class. In the meantime, allow me to, if I may, allow me. It's my stream. I can do whatever I ding-dong want to as long as it's within the TOS, and I will make sure I select an artwork to share that's within that's not a TOS violation. Let's look at this one, because we haven't looked at this one in a while. And I like this one because it's got a story to it, but it's just a couple of guys. They're just all sleepy. They've just arrived after a long flight and they're very tired and they can't check into their hotel yet. So they went to this coffee shop near the hotel and just immediately fell asleep as soon as they sat down with their coffees. And they're just having a nice little nap. As you do. Anyways, this is the kind of stupid shenanigans that gets painted on this stream. I hope you enjoy it. Anyways. So that's me, that's my artwork, this is what we're working on today. I didn't finish it, but here's the sketch so far. Silly, could you send me the link in, like, a whisper DM? If you could, that would be super rad, because I have, my stream settings are borked in a way that I can't fix on stream to actually allow, like, link permissions. So it needs to be a whisper, because it's mostly to deter bots, though, to be honest, I don't know how much that works these days. But yeah. Samantha says, remember when they decided art of naked people didn't violate the TOS and it lasted like one day? Oh yeah, absolutely. There was just a sudden explosion of just paintings of like, just every art stream. It seemed like was very anime girls with very large chests. And they were like, oh no, walk it back. Now the questions start on all the other artwork that stays off camera, says Kindred. You've seen my artwork. Do you think anyone wants not safe for work of my artwork? Because I guarantee you do not want to see that, and it doesn't exist. No, that's not true. I did do a painting of a little nude fellow last year. And I can show you the pixelated version because it does me a giggle. But it is definitely not a big chested anime girl for sure. Though honestly it is a pretty magical dude, so I guess that's something. Why am I doing this? Oh no. Sometimes I just talk myself into mistake territory. Here it is. Thankfully, this is the safe for work version, so we can see it. There's a market for basically any kind of not safe for work art, says Samantha. On the wide world of the interwebs, there's always some guy who's into that. I don't know if I want to cater to that guy. That's the thing, Samantha. I'm not sure I do. Picasso would have gotten around TOS. I mean, the skills. But there it is. Pixelated to avoid TOS violation. Anyways, and was actually vaguely inspired by the cover art for the NES game Solstice, which is not a good video game, but the music is one of the best pieces of video game music as far as I'm concerned. Tim Fallon, well done. Anyways, if you're not familiar with the oeuvre of Tim, is good. Fletch, hello, welcome in. Thank you for coming in on the raid. By the power of the deep lurk, I am here. Hello, hello. Lovely to see you. How's it going, Fletch? Hello. I think hopefully maybe we have a link from Silly, which is fantastic. So they have sent a linkage. Oh, damn, this is cool as heck. Yes. I am so happy to get to share this. This is very, very, very cool indeed. Okay. Sorry, I'm having to kind of vamp while I hype this up for y'all. Cause it takes a minute for me to get everything set up. But this piece of artwork is so stinking cool. Y'all, check it out! I love this so much. The energy of this piece, the design of this character, the pose. This is just rad as heck. I love it. Love it so much. Thank you so much for sharing this with us, Silly. I cannot wait to see what this looks like when it's done. It's already very, very, very cool. I love it so much. And thank you again for the raid. Let me get another shout out for you in the chat. Very dynamic, says Samantha. Hell yeah. Am I good at poses like this? No. Do I love seeing other people do poses like this? Yes. So, hell yeah. There's another shout out for Silly. Go do follow if you are not already. Blap. And hell yeah. Anyways, Fletch says the posing is amazing. I wholeheartedly agree. This is a beautiful piece, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. I really appreciate it. I love seeing what other folks are working on. It's always so inspiring. Kindred says it embodies Scud, the disposable assassin. Sweet. Fletch is back to lurking. Have a lovely lurk, Fletch, and thank you so much for the greetings and the salutations. It is lovely to see you as always, and I hope you have a good lurk. Fletch says, Sammy, you're great and your watercolor today is beautiful. No, you. So there. I'm Uno reverse carding you. You're great. And I don't know whether or not you've been painting a watercolor, but if you did, it would be really good. Anyways. My coffee is so cold. But I have been drinking so much of this decaf because it is a very good example of a decaf. I find a lot of decafs, in my experience, I think because a lot of like specialty coffee roasters will usually offer like one decaf coffee, so they want it to be something that's fairly, I guess, universally agreeable. So it's usually not the most like experimental in terms of like roast or tasting notes or all that jazz. But you can do things that are just as beautiful in a decaf, I would say, more or less, just about as you do with like a words are hard. Come on, word. With like a regularly caffeinated coffee. But a lot of the time I find them to be a bit uninspired, I suppose. But also, it's probably good that I'm mainlining this decaf as much as I am because decaf stales faster than regular coffee. I think, I'm not sure the exact mechanism of it, but certainly if you notice if you've ever used a hand grinder to grind your coffee, you'll notice that decaf grinds differently to regular coffee, or at least in my experience. It feels different in hand when I am grinding it in my... I have just like the Hario Skirtin crank hand grind coffee thing, the glass one. And I love it. But you can tell the different processes that different beans have gone through, and you can tell the different varieties of beans, how they've been roasted, all that stuff, by the way that they feel when you're grinding it. And I find that There is a specific crunch to the way that decaf beans grind, and I think it's because the decaffeination process actually renders the beans more porous than non-decaf coffees, and that in turn affects the crunchiness of them when they're going through the burrs. So crunchiness makes it sound like they're a snack. I would not suggest eating just like crunching on just coffee beans. Unless they're chocolate covered, I guess, which is a thing. But in general, I don't think it makes a particularly delicious snack. When I was like 10 years old though, I used to get so in the bulk section at the supermarket, there were little like there was a section for coffee beans. You could get like fresh coffee beans and then grind them to order within their like grinder. And there was a little tray for like any sort of like spilled coffee beans that you know didn't make it into your bag. They just fell down. When I was like 9 or 10, I would gather up a little handful of like the discarded beans and I would put them in my pocket and I would just have them for a snack. I would just munch on them like an absolute gremlin. Am I okay? Maybe no. Because I don't think that was good. But I did it. And here I am. Anyways, I'm gonna attempt to line weight this little dude. I've taken my brown and I've added a little bit of warmth to it so it feels a little more adjacent to a human flesh tone, which is this guy's. Silly, thank you so much for the lurk, and thank you again for the raid. I really appreciate it. Thank you for entrusting me with your peeps. Kindred says, chocolate-covered coffee beans, so good. It is. It's not something that I would regularly reach for, but they can be quite... I mean, chocolate and coffee is such a good combination, just in general. So, you know, there is something to be said for that as a combo. I find there are a lot of coffees that just, the chocolate notes in them are so prominent that I'm just like, you know what, this just tastes like I'm drinking cocoa. Like, that's not an unheard of experience in this household for me to be like, this tastes like chocolate. This is just very strongly chocolate coffee to me. And I do like that. It's not a regular thing for me, but I do appreciate them, says Kendra. And I think they also work really well as like a garnish if you're making a chocolate cake or something. As just a little doot, you know, stick it on top of a little swirl of buttercream, and it's just cute, and it's also delicious. It's just nice. I like using that kind of thing as like a garnish for cakes, I think, because yummy. And also the bitterness can kind of offset the intense sweetness of like a frosting, which is very nice indeed. Okay, can I just get my brush just a little bit wet? Not gonna fully dip it, but just touch some water to it, so that I can pick up a little bit more of this orange and make a slightly even warmer brown for this little basket that this little guy is holding. And I've just, oh my god, it's so tiny, but you can just about see that there's a basket weave on this basket now. Is the level of detail on this excruciating? Yes. Am I gonna do it anyways? Also, yes. It's important to me. Anyways. Giving my brush a little clean. Then I'm gonna grab, okay, I had a little square of tissue that I was using to, it was under my phone. Okay, cool. Kindred is doing a lurk. Have a good rest of the stream. Thank you so much for hanging out, Kindred. It's been lovely to see you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Thank you for the lurk. Okay. Just gonna blot off most of that wetness. Just just having enough to just pick up a teeny amount of this galaxy pink. And again, fold that into this existent patch of basically dried out brown at this point to create a slightly, because I think this fellow's got real sort of pinkish undertones. I think this guy tans, this guy burns out in the sun. Both of them wear SPF because they're responsible. Both of them wear SPF because they're responsible, and it's really important to look after your skin. You don't want to wind up in a situation where your skin is in trouble. Anyways. I had an auntie who had a skin cancer, and it wasn't a pleasant time for her, so, you know. Stay out of the sun. Anyways, my brush is doing... Can you see what my brush is doing right now? Can you focus on this, please? You see my brush is doing this. It's like split, which means it's really hard to get a good point, which means I'm going to have to restart. I'm going to have to re-wet and then just very carefully put it back into nice fine little point mode. There we go. There it is. Like so. Which is annoying, but also I did not want to try and use the brush as was and have it have the lines get all bad, because what we can see of this little guy's hands are a very small amount. And I would like them to not get fully subsumed by the line weight. That would be my preference. Okay. Tiny little, just a little bit on the back of the neck. And just get the definition around his face like that. Yay! Okay, he's got a face. Phew! That was very... I don't know if you could tell that was a little stressful, but that was a little stressful. Oh, I could feel that. Oh, Silly says, just wanted to say my cat is being unfathomably, stupidly funny right now. Oh my goodness. I love that for you. That's adorable. Oh, bless. If I wasn't allergic to cats, I would very much welcome a cat friend, I think. Sadly, I'm allergic to cats. Though I did briefly live with a cat once, and it was nice. He was a very good boy. He was a ginger cat, and he was really sweet. Silly says, he's got his head underneath the rug digging around for some hairband. Oh my goodness. What a sweet little buddy. That is so stinking cute. Oh my god, that is very funny. That is very funny. I can imagine it, and in my imaginings, it's very, very cute. Bless. Blessings. Okie dokie. Now is the time to... I think let's line these dungarees next, maybe. For which I just nice and easy just need Tundra Orange. So that's easy to do. Just gonna pop it here. Hope that I've got enough of it on my brush to be visible. And the answer is I kind of do. I don't think I want more than that anyways. I'm imagining that these dungarees are... They're like the Lucy and Yak ones, I think. Just very sort of baggy and comfy and a very pretty color. I wish I felt like I could wear dungarees. I actually saw someone... I was in the center of town on Friday on my way to go on a date with my moderator / spouse, and I saw someone walk past and they were wearing dungarees and they looked so cool, and I was like, oh god, I wish that were me. Like, both this person and the friend that they were with were both very cool, like but not necessarily in the way that like whatever young people who use TikTok think is cool are cool, because I don't relate to that because I'm elderly. But these people just seemed cool, and one of them was wearing dungarees, and I was like, "Oh, you look so good." I want to look cool in dungarees, but I just don't think I can pull them off. But also, I would get annoyed by having to like take off the entire top half of my clothes every time I need to go to the bathroom. So they're not the right choice for me, but I will look on when other people wear them and go, "Ugh, you are so cool right now. You are really cool for realsies. Damn it." Anyway, I'm gonna take another sip of my stone cold coffee. It's so cold. Mmm. Take a sip of my stone cold coffee. Mm, mm, mm. Sorry. Why am I like this? I don't even like that song very much. Okay. I'm gonna do his hair now, which is the blonde. So I'm gonna got somewhat of a picture of him, Cecily. Did you want to put it in the Discord? Because if you want to put it in the Discord, you can put it in the Discord. Because you are the Discord, aren't you? Yes, you are. I answered my own question. Never mind. Yes. If anyone else wants to join the Discord and you're not in the Discord, you can join the Discord. You can let us know when you're streaming. You can find out when I'm streaming. You can post pictures of your pets or fun things you enjoy, or I don't know, foods that you've made that were good, all that jazz. Talk about board games. We had a really nice productive conversation about board games. And I inevitably forget to share my art there, and I apologize. I'm trying to be better about it. But I'm shy. The difference is I'm shy, even though I paint live on the internet. It's different, okay? I don't know. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do... Okay, so I'll do the hair next, and then I'll do the strawberries and the shirt. Oh, okay. That is way too much water on the brush. Hold up. Too wet. Oh no. Oh no. Does anyone else, when they get like a paint pan like this, tend to sort of pick a spot that they want to take paint out of and just kind of keep going back to that spot instead of like swirling around the whole thing? It might just be because, it might be in part because I work with such teeny tiny brushes, but I tend to like pick a spot and just take paint out of that one spot. I don't know. It works for me, okay? But then I end up having like just a very specific divot because of it. I can show you an example of this actually, if you just bear with me 1 second. This Gansai set, I think, really exemplifies that. If you look at the pans I've used the most in this set, I just always, for some reason, when I'm using like this style of Gansai pan, will go to the lower left corner every time, and therefore blip, plurp, plorp, you can see the bits where you're starting to see the bottom of the pan underneath are in the same spot every time. I have no clue if that's normal. Anyways, Silly has shared. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing it later. Anyways. But yeah. Okay, so. Where was I with this? Oh yeah, okay, so I had picked up some of this yellow paint in the hopes of being able to very, very carefully. That is literally this. Okay, this brush has gone too dry. I waited too long. And the paint has kind of just dried down to unworkable, so I'm going to have to re-wet it and hope that there's enough of it on the brush that it's visible and meaningful. Here's hoping. And also still a nice, as fine a point as I can get onto this a little brushy. What is our sweet dungaree-clad person holding? Asks Theo. It's hard to tell right now, but it's a basket of strawberries that he harvested from the garden. They've got some lovely tittle strawberries here. They've also got some cherry tomatoes, and I think these are going to be like wild garlic or something. So, something in the allium family. Because because I want them to be able to have delicious jam and also delicious spaghetti. That's why. Why not? That feels like an appropriate enough reason to me. There we go. I've given him some little sideburns as well. Wonderful, says Theo. Hell yeah, I love strawberries. I really do. Love me a good strabby. Delicious. I am so... Strawberry season hasn't rolled round in my neck of the woods yet. We're still getting our strawberries imported from sort of south of us. But I am so excited for strawberry season. I walked past the strawberries in the supermarket the other day and I could smell the strawberries and I was like, oh, I cannot wait to eat this food again. It has been so many months and I've missed it so much. And I want them back. And I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Ugh. Hell yeah. It's gonna be hopefully very, very nice. Anyway, so this little guy has some hair now, which is good. Let's get some detail onto that little shirt if we can. Oh, just do you see? Okay, hold up. Do you see? There is like a thick bead of water sitting on the ferrule. I have complained about this before, but I'm just gonna get rid of that. Like, look, that's a big raindrop. Imagine if I started painting with this and that raindrop went blub onto the paper. That would be potentially disastrous. Oh my goodness gracious. That is exactly the opposite of what we want. So, I think I managed to resolve it. Okay, I have a good shirt color. I'm just using the Shire Blue for this shirt color. It's a nice, comfortable, roomy shirt for doing really any and all manner of work in, I would say. And it's fairly buttoned up to keep him nice and comfy. There we go. He has shirt. Oh, damn, they're looking kind of cute. Are they cute? I hope they're cute. I never know with these things whether or not anything that I do will appeal aesthetically to anyone other than myself. And I mean, I think in general I do make stuff in the first instance that is something that I'm going to enjoy, because if I'm not going to enjoy it, then what's the point? Unless I'm being paid vast amounts of money for it, and those vast amounts of money give me the sort of time and freedom to work on things that I do love. But those are rare and very few and far between. Incidentally, I do commissions. Though I will say, in general, on the whole, almost exclusively, I love doing commissions. I would say I don't think there's been a commission that I didn't enjoy doing, even when it was something that like I've never heard of before. Like, I did a commission painting once of a character from Homestuck. I don't know anything about Homestuck, but I just Google image searched a bunch of pictures of this character from Homestuck so that I could draw this in your style it for my commissioner, and they loved it, so yay! It was a lot of fun to do. Anyways, here. I'm really bad at promoting myself, but here's a link to my shop. But yeah, commissions are fun. But, also, like, I don't know, if if a big company wanted to give me bags of money to draw, like, I don't know, whatever branding stuff they need, I would do that. It would look like this, and I would hope that's what they wanted from me, but, you know. Oh, speaking of, so, despite my not really having any interest in being there, I do have a LinkedIn. Um, You can add me on LinkedIn if you want to, but chances are I'm not going to add you back because I never check LinkedIn. But I do get emails from LinkedIn to do with, like, job postings and stuff. And I think maybe it was last month I got a list of job postings in an email from them, and the first one was Illustrator, and I was like, Illustrator for, like, a non-profit organization or something, but, like, quite a large organization from the sound of it. Of, like, they have like 150 employees or something like that. And I went to look, and it was an illustrator that they wanted to do, to work with them on, like, a full-time basis, to create, like, illustrations for the various resources that they make, to do with something to do with, like, public health or something like that, yada yada yada. Anyways, this position was not, it was a volunteer job. And they were looking for someone who had, I think, who had some sort of relevant university degree, as well as, like, some number of years experience working in illustration, as well as experience with, like, specific illustration software. And I'm sitting there like, you're telling me that you want somebody to do all that with all that experience for goose egg money? Like, I can understand, you know, we are a small community-based charity organization, and we need an illustration for a bake sale. Could a volunteer make us a drawing for a bake sale, you know? And they don't pay you for that because it's run entirely by volunteers, and it's, like, run by, like, 6 people, and they're doing a bake sale. Okay, fine. You're asking someone to actually, like, send in their CV for a job as an illustrator where they will be working all day, every week, potentially forever, for 0 monies. No! No. If you want to hire someone who is, like, skilled to do something that requires skills, you pay them monies. How much does your director make? You know, how much do your other employees make? And you do say they're employees, not volunteers, so clearly you can afford to pay people. Like, no. I'm sorry, but no. No. Jeez Louise. Like, reprioritize and find the way to, pay someone, or reconsider how much you, like, just look at what you can afford and then work with that. But if the answer is no money for free, then do not ask for a full-time illustrator. I'm sorry to go on a little bit of a rant here, but I just thought that it was a little take the pissy. The kind of thing, and I do think that there are certain industries that are considered rewarding and that therefore get away with exploiting people's, like, labor. But yeah. Melissa, if you are able to English, I would appreciate English in the chat, just because not everyone understands French. But I also agree. But also, hello, welcome in. Hope you're having a lovely Monday. It's very nice to see you. But yeah, absolutely. Like, I get it, but also, illustration is work. And sometimes it's quite technical work, working to like, brand or like house style specifications as well, and being like, we're not going to pay you. Like, no, I'm sorry, no. With a side order of no. And some no for dessert. Wet brush. Okay. That's slightly too wet. But anyways. Okie dokie. There we go. All right. I'm doing this little set of trousers. I am ever so nervous to do it. Okay. I don't know why I was nervous. I think those trousers turned out okay. I think I'm going to use the same shade for the little teacup, but I need to... My brush was doing that thing where it was splitting into like two forks again, and I don't want to leave that and then try and paint line weight with it. My moderator / spouse is home. Oh geez, I'm going to have to I would like to go say hello to my moderator / spouse. I'll be back in just a second. One moment, please. My darling, hello. Yeah, it's on your side of the bed. Hey, darling.
Hey. I'll tie the rubbish.
I missed you. Welcome home. Okay. Yay, moderator / spouse is home. Hurrah. Hello again, everybody. Anyways. For anyone who doesn't know, Twitch user Sledge Callier is my moderator / spouse. He looks like... I've been thinking I need to make a moderator / spouse emote for my own channel, because this is from his channel. Anyways, but he looks like that, in case you're curious. I just popped an emote in chat. Melissa, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Very much appreciated. Welcome in. Now then. Okay, this is gonna be... This is tiny and super fiddly, so bear with me for 1 second while I attempt... Oh, geez. Okay. Okay. It's a little bit ropey, but I think you can see it's a teacup. Oh. Theo says, I hope he's well and hasn't had to deal with any nonsense today. Me too. He seems well. He's just gone to do a chore. So I cannot ask if he is well, but I think he's well. Welcome back, Sammy, and hello. Nice to see you again. And I'm gonna try and make this a little bit more gray, and I think the easiest way to try and make this a little bit more gray is to maybe add a little... Maybe just add a little bit of the remnants of that orange into it. Maybe pick up a little bit of additional orange. Just ever so gently re-wetting my brush. Re-wetting it too much. Oh no. Oh well, it's fixable. Anyway. Hello again, Sunshine. Did you have an alright day? Okay. He says he had an alright day. Yay! Melissa says, I like your art. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. That's very kind. Very kind of you to say. Sammy Ann says, in time to say that I love the Jolly Roger cup. Oh, thank you very much. I tried my best. Linus says, hello, Sunshine. Sledge says, hey. Oh, dear. One moment, please. You alright, babe? Oh, do you want, no, that's it. Yeah, okay, cool. 3 days in a row. Oh, goodness. Okay, maybe we need to, well,
we're having miso.
We're having a very gentle dinner. Miso and soda bread. Love you. Sorry? You could dip your soda bread in your miso soup if you want to. I'll probably just have mine on the side with a little lactose-free cheese. Anyways. Sorry, we were just talking about soda bread. Because, we have half a loaf of soda bread that my husband baked yesterday. I say half a loaf because, well, we ate half of it. We ate half of it yesterday Because why? Because is there anything better than a loaf of freshly baked soda bread, what your moderator / spouse made? No. It is one of the loveliest foods I can think of. It brings me a lot of joy. Here we go. Do I want to maybe try and manufacture sort of a tea brown color to do the little steam radiating off of the teacup. There we go. Yay! Now you can definitely tell that it's a teacup, cause it's radiant. Perf. Okay, good. And I need to do the color of the house as well. Okay. Ooh, and the strawberries. Okay, I'll do the strawberries, then the shirt, then the house. Or the strawberries, then the house, then the shirt. Something in that order. I think strawberries, house, shirt works best. Okay. Made with love, says Sammy Ann. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everything that these two make in their little house for each other is with love. While working on this, I definitely have had a few moments of our house stuck in my head. For clarity, not our house in the middle of our street, but our house is a very, very, very fine house, which is an important musical distinction to make here, I think. Because they do have slightly different vibes. Certainly in terms of the type of our house that it is. But this isn't our house, is a very, very, very fine house, I think. Also, I just love that song. That song gives me all of the warm fuzzies of, like, just the soft domesticity of being in love with someone and making a home together. I got the wrong one, says Lina. Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, it is the more British of the two. That song always makes me cry, says Theo. I know, me too. It gets me right in the feels. It really does get me right in the feels. Even if I will never have a yard with 2 cats in it, it's still just anyways, I'm not gonna waffle on about it or I will get emotional. And I don't think we want that on stream. So instead I'm gonna draw this little mass of berries that this person has harvested from the garden. There we go. It kind of looks like it could be a little mass of strawberries. I just gave them a little bit of sort of definition so it feels like it's not just a single uniform lump, as it were. It's also come out very bright, so I might just do that so it blends in a little bit better. You don't want any one instance of line art to be lines to be way darker than any others, otherwise it may draw the eye to the wrong one. I got the wrong one too, says Sammy, and oh geez. And it's the one I always think of when someone says our house, says Theo. Hell yeah, I love it. I mean, I do like the other song very much as well. Lina says I'm a ska kid too, so I'd go straight to Madness given the chance. That's fair. And I mean, I do like the Madness one also, don't get me wrong. It is a classic, and now that's playing inside my head, so yay. I love when they sang it on the Young Ones. Cannot say that about the other one. Silly says, every time I think of our house in the middle of our street, I think of the joke version that just loops our house in the middle of our house. Oh no! Oh no! Sammy answers, this is the version my daughter liked to sing as well. Okay, here's the thing about our house in the middle of our street, is that I always picture singing it that way. I don't picture, for instance, imagine that this is the street, right? So there's a row of houses here, there's a row of houses there. I don't picture our house in the middle of our street as being this house that is in the middle of the row of houses on the street. I picture this is our house, and it is literally in the middle of the street. that's just an impractical place to have your house built. But that's what I picture when I hear our house in the middle of our street, is that it is literally like, it is literally just in the middle of where like the cars and bicycles go, and they have to try and go around it, and it's really impractical. Sammy Ann says, right, and it's right in the middle of the roadway. Yes. Sen says, no, it is on the street, smack dab in the middle of it. Exactly. Sammy Ann says, me too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, chat. Vindicated. Thank you. Sen says, well, the house was there first and the Chinese government built around it. Yeah, I mean, there are a few instances in places of, wanting to build like a motorway or whatever, but there was a house there and they don't have permission to like level the house and buy that property. So they just have to kind of sidestep it. There was a movie. There was a Canadian movie. We've looped back to Canadian movies. There's a Canadian movie. I can't remember what it's called. It was directed by the same guy who directed Cube. And it was about these two guys who live in a house, and the house is like precariously weirdly in the middle of like a motorway because of weird planning stuff. And then somehow from this, the two dudes end up in a weird void. And when I say a weird void, I mean like 90% of the movie is set in, I think the house ends up in the void, actually. Like the whole house just ends up in a void. And when I say a void, I mean literally they're just, the 90% of the movie is set in just sort of like, just an endless field of white with two guys. So presumably it was reasonably low budget to produce because they didn't have to create a lot of set pieces. just cover and just make an entire soundstage white and let nothing. That is the film. Sammy Ann knows it. Thank you. I haven't seen it in probably like, 15 years, but yeah. Nothing is a 2003 Canadian surrealist comedy drama, which is a very Canadian genre of filmmaking, but directed by Vincenzo Natali, has made a lot of Canadian movies, starring David Hewlett and Andrew Miller. I liked it. It's a very Canadian movie. I also really liked what was the one that Cube. If you've heard of a Vincenzo Natali film, I feel like you've probably heard of Cube. That is probably the most well known. Again, another very clever use of very low budget set building. Cube, because I think it was set. I think they must have just used the same set for like every scene in the film, but just relit / redressed it slightly to make it into different spaces. I don't want to spoil too much for you. That movie, Cube, stressful. Very stressful. I enjoyed Cube, but I was the most stressed I've ever been watching a movie watching Cube. I can't explain it further because I don't really understand what's going on in it, and I don't remember, but I liked Cube. I was very stressed out by Cube. So if you're looking for a movie experience that leaves you feeling a little bit stressed out, Cube, recommended. Or Splice, which is not a favorite. Splice was weird. Splice was weird. I agree with Sammy Ann. I recommend Splice less. It was weird. Yeah. Splice is weird. Anyways. But yeah, Vincenzo Natali, says Sammy Ann, is known for making things that make people feel uncomfortable. Yeah, he makes weird movies. Those are, I think, the 3 of his that I remember having seen. All very weird. But that's, I don't know. When I think of Canadian movies, I think there's always a certain air of weirdness, whether or not it's like Natali style weird or other types of weirdness. We're just a weird people, I think. Just generally, we're a weird people. Or maybe that's just me projecting because I'm weird. And I don't know if that's the Canadianness or the tism, so, anyways. House color. Yes, I need to make house color. So house color is galaxy pink plus a little bit, but not a ton, of deep sea violet. And then shirt is the same, but with more deep sea violet. So I'm just kind of building it here on my little palette to try and just reuse the same tiny little splodges of color as many times as I can. Add a little bit more of this back to it. Because it is a purple, but it is quite a pinky. It is sort of between pink and purple, I would say. The jury's out on which one it is. But anyway, Sammy Ann has nodded. I've got Canadian agreement in the chat. Fantastic. We love to see it. Okay. There we go. Is that almost a little too dark? I think I might actually water this down a little bit because it's quite intense. And I don't want it, I want it to be visible, but I don't want it to overload the other colors too much. So I'm gonna use it for my door frame here. I'm realizing as I'm doing this that there's actually not a lot that needs to be lined out in house color because a lot of it is kind of covered by... Actually, we're not seeing the bottom of the house because we're seeing the edge of the porch, which kind of overtakes that a bit. So really, it's actually just here. It's like the door frame, and then it's this edge here. And that's kind of it. That's kind of it for the house. Wow, okay. Oh, Silly says, I just noticed the little Bulbasaur. It's so cute. This is Bulbasoup, who was a prize at one of those, like, arcade machines by the seaside somewhere. It was one of those ones where you put in a coin and there's just, like, a floor of coins, and there's a little mechanism that, like, shoves the coins forward, and they'll see little prizes in there, like this little guy. So you try and strategically put coins in to try and move the coins forward, but they often get stuck and you don't actually win anything. But we won this little Bulbasoup, and I call him Bulbasoup because he's clearly not an officially licensed piece of merch. I mean, look at the paint job on these eyes. It looks very handmade. It looks very handmade. Definitely not licensed by the Pokemon Company. Therefore, it's not Bulbasoup. It's Bulbasaur. It's not Bulbasaur. It's Bulbasoup. And I love them very much. And here's their friend, Snorlax. Also very, very friend-shaped. But again, does seem to have been made by hand out of some kind of clay, which just adds to their charm, honestly. I think they're very special and sweet. I shudder to think how many 2p coins it took to win these guys. Because it's probably a lot. But anyways, yes. Sammy, this Bulbasoup looks cute, but they look like they've seen stuff! Yes, that is it. That is the vibe. Many Distractions says Bulbasoup is best soup. Hell yeah. I love them, says silly little guy. Aw, thanks, y'all. Thank you. They are very sweet friends of Strim. Anywho. Okay. I'm going to grab just a little additional wisp of this deep sea violet, and then we are gonna just pop in the lines for this little guy's shirt. He's got his little elbow just perched on his knee there. So you can't really see the collar of the shirt, but you can maybe see a little hint of it. And you know, is this gonna be overkill if I try to do this? I don't know, but I'm gonna try anyways. Oh shoot, I don't have any of that color left. Heck. Okay, I'm gonna have to very, very quickly and efficiently make a tiny amount of a kind of grayish. Again, maybe I can just use what's here for it. Just the tiniest amount of paint and just, you know, because this shirt is quite low cut, I'm just wondering if I can just get a few little specks of, oh, you know, it kind of works. So he has chest hair now. Art mascots be cute, says Samian along with Anana. Of course, Anana, our dear friend of stream, who is here. Who we did do some official channel art for recently as well. Our little paintbrush holding pineapple. I did make the official art of Anana into a stream sticker as well. It's real stupid. I do have stickers. They were very fun to make. Very stupid. Anyways. Am I missing anything? I've done that chest hair importantly, and I think I want to do very barely visible line weight for like the landscape. Just to make it feel a little bit more complete, I reckon. So that's what I'm gonna do. So to that end, I'm gonna take the bit of sort of grayish paint that I've got on here, clean it out, blot a little bit, wet a little bit, and then pick up a tittle tiny amount of this green, but it's very not very strong, because I don't want it to be super strong, but just give a little wisp of definition to the top of the hill. But I don't want to add any additional texture into the hill itself, because I had done that and it looked bad. So we're not going to try that again, or we'll be here all night. And I am going to need at some point to go very painstakingly make miso soup. And by make, I of course mean open a sachet, empty it into a bowl, add water, and stir. But I think just getting a little definition here for this foliage will, as it borders the house, will make it look a little bit less wonky, I hope. It's my hope anyways. Oh no, is it getting worse? Is it getting worse? Ugh. No, I think that's alright. It's still quite light though. I do think it doesn't need to be heavy. It just needs to be visible. There. Just visible. That'll do. Miso soup is very tasty, says Silly. I love it. I love it so much. It brings me a lot of joy. It's tasty. It's very comforting. And it's also, like, quite a healthy, nourishing food. Therefore, I find it useful as a thing to have. It's good for when I don't really have the time or inclination to put in a ton of effort, but I want to have something that I know is going to be nourishing. Okay. How's the weight on this? Yeah, I think this is all right. Hell yeah. Because we've got some little bits of sort of billowy texture inside there as well. So to kind of reflect that as we go around the outside as well. We'll hopefully give it a nice sense of completeness and not just look a little stupid. I hope it doesn't look stupid. But I do want these lines to be not the focal point of the piece, just present. You know? Just they're there, but they're not the stars. There's the supporting act. There we go. Okay, I like the way it billows as well. I think that's hopefully that gives a feeling of sort of a nice little fluffy bit of grass. I hope. But there's just a bit here that I actually want to be sort of I guess dirt mound colored. So I'm just taking this weird, what ended up being sort of various flesh tones at the end and turning it into, adding some yellow to kind of turn it back into sort of soil earth situation. Just adding some sketchy sort of definition to where the garden bed meets the foliage, like so. And I hope that doesn't... Does this look weird? Does it look balanced? I don't know. I think it's okay. I think this piece is okay. I do. I might use a bit of this color as well to just kind of add just a little bit of shading just under where these plants meet the ground, so it doesn't look quite so weirdly flat, I guess. I think that just makes it feel a little more like actual plants planted in the ground, I suppose. I mean, are these two good gardeners? Probably not. But they're trying their best. They're doing better than I could do, so, you know, I think that's pretty applaudable of them. I think they should be proud. And to that end, I'm just picking up some of this, some of what's left of this green with whatever was left of the brown in my brush, and I'm just going to use whatever that color works out to be to sign this piece. Because I think we've arrived at the end of it now. I think I'm happy with where it ended up. I hope that you like it. I liked painting it. Here's a closer look at the little garden patch. And here's a closer look at the little guys. Here's the sky. There's not a lot going on, but oftentimes there isn't a lot going on in the sky. It's just like some clouds and sky color. This is the little guy having a nice cup of tea. That's gone way out of focus because I'm zooming in way too far. There's a little guy with his little basket of strawberries that he got from the garden. Here's the two of them together, just having a little intimate moment. As you do. This one's got chest hair that you can see. Because, because I can. Anyways, the word dirt mound caught me off guard as a Hollow Knight fanatic, says Silly. Oh goodness, I'm sorry. Thank you for the claps, many distractions. I appreciate it. And afore I go, I do want to shout out me and my future Hollow Knight art posts for very wisely giving... This is Un, who you meet at the Lake of Un. And I just want you to notice, if it'll focus on her face, please focus on her face, that I gave her a little ooh smile. Because the little guy has just jumped into the lake and is just doing a little splish splush. And she's just looking on with like, oh, what a sweet little buddy. So yeah, and they were housemates, says Betty Distractions. I think they might be in love. I think they might even get married. I'd love that for them. And I think they'd love that for themselves. Nothing better than marrying for love. Anyways, so yeah, that's what I painted today. I hope you liked it. I had a really fun time.
New limited edition blue raspberry fight milk. Makes you almost as cool as Hornet.
Sunshine? Thank you. Somebody found my new Hollow Knight stream stickers. That was, thank you so much for the blue raspberry fight milk sticker, Fledge. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Thank you also for the Shaw, who I also gave a little ooh smile to. Thank you for the Shaw sticker. Thank you, thank you. Tee tee. Anywho, yeah. So those are stickers. Oh, I just realized that the like auto sort of notification for stream stickers that pops up, that it's in all caps except for the name of the sticker. So it's Sledge Callier slapped a Shaw sticker for 50 bits. Oh, that jump scared the hell out of me. But thank you for that. Anyways, now you know. Now you know what happens when you sticker. Oh. Anyways. Right. What was I saying? Oh yeah, this art is done and I'm gonna go make soup. And, Silly said the Lake of Uwoon. Yes. Perfect. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Anyways, thanks y'all for hanging out. It's been very, very fun. You're all breathtaking. I really enjoyed painting this. I hope people like it. My name is Jackson says thanks for the stream. Enjoy soup. I shall do my very best to do so. I'm gonna see if there's anyone online we can do a little raidy raid on now. Let's see who's around and about. And I shall send us in the direction of someone cool. I shall first have an ouch because my eyes are itchy. And then I will send us to see a friend. Raid channel. There we go. Let's see what. Come on. Let me just make sure that the stream isn't just about to finish. They're not, and they're working on something cool. Okay, we're gonna go raid Acorn. Acorn's fun. You might recognize Acorn from being around here sometimes. I'm gonna pop a generic raid message in the chat. With, I think a little Anana popping in to say hello. Cause why? Cause it's a fun time. Anyways, I'll be back on Thursday. Possibly doing some carving a new print block, which I haven't done in a wee while, which will be really nice. And I shall thank you in the meantime for hanging out with me today. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. I'll be back on Thursday. Thanks for hanging out. You're all breathtaking. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. And hope to see you again soon. And thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today. And thank you for the raids and all of the good stuff. You're all breathtaking. Hope to see you again soon. And goodbye, everyone, and good night.